Hello everybody, welcome to my part 2 of my May wrap-up. Let's get straight into it. So the 7th book that I read in the month of May was Sleeping Murder, Miss Marple's Last Case. That is it for my Miss Marple. I have read them all, which I'm really disappointed with because I love Miss Marple. I'm going to do a special video on Miss Marple, I think, or a couple of videos on Miss Marple. I adored this one. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It tells the story of Gwenda, who comes from abroad to England. She's new married. She's looking for her first kind of marital home, and she finds one she finds a Victorian villa. She has this kind of visiony nightmare thing where she sees a woman strangled at the bottom of the stairs, and it turns out that it's true. That actually happened. And herself and Miss Marple have to uncover a murder. It was brilliant. It was 5 out of 5 stars. Adore it. Yes! The 8th book that I read in the month of May was Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. I was really disappointed with this. I hope I was going to love it because I loved the character Flora. Flora's amazing. But in this, Stella decided that the country folk are going to talk in a country way, and that just really annoyed me, so I kind of skim read all of that. So yeah, really disappointed. I actually gave this 3 out of 5 stars, but I think I'm going to drop it to 2 because I was so disappointed. It was brilliant, you know, the premise of the story, kind of a young girl, well educated, goes to her like countryside relatives to their farm. It was such a good idea, but yes, disappointed. The 9th book that I read in the month was Memento Mori by Murial. I don't know how to pronounce that. I actually read this as a buddy read. I read it with Hannah from Hannah Lamb, whose channel I'll link down below. She's lovely. Now we were both really disappointed with this. This is our first ever buddy read that we did, and we didn't get off to the best of starts, put it that way. This book tells the story of a lot of old people, and one of these old people get this phone call, this mysterious, horrible phone call, about them dying, and they're trying to work out who it is that's doing this horrible thing. Now, I didn't like it because of the humour. Now, I think I have a very kind of English humour. When you think of British humour, that's the type of humour I have, kind of, you know, Blackadder style, slapstick, probably stupid kind of humour. But this, it was a lot darker, it was quite dry, and I don't find that funny. Sometimes I find it a bit offensive. It didn't click with me at all. None of the characters are likeable, just didn't enjoy it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop persisting with Muriel, because I did really enjoy the Primus Team Brody, but this is like my second disappointment of hers. So I don't know, we'll see, but 2 out of 5 stars for that one. I then picked up a non-fiction. I picked up Cold Meat and How to Disguise It, a history of advice on how to survive hard times, 100 years of belt-tightening by Hunter Davies. Now, I liked this. Look at this. Look at these end papers. The end papers are just glorious themselves. That's just worth buying it for the end papers. But this is filled with lots of different bits and bobs and odds and sods, all about belt tightening and do mending and all that sort of stuff. It was lovely. It was great. It's basically over the 100 years how, you know, ourselves in Britain have kind of tightened our belt with food, with clothing, with healthcare, education, all those types of things. Obviously because of the wars and recessions and different things like that. Now, I'm an R on what to give this. In the end, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because, to be honest, there wasn't anything in here that I didn't already know. Because I read a lot of magazines from this era, or I read a lot of books from this era, so I kind of knew quite a lot of stuff about it. But it was still very likeable. I think it is beautiful, and if you want to research things from that era, this is absolutely brilliant and definitely a go-to guide. And the final book that I read in the month of May was Good Behaviour by Molly Keane. This is my third Molly Keane book that I read. I actually did this as a buddy read, another buddy read. I did this with Ange. Ange is so lovely. You probably already subscribed to her because if you watch my channel then you'll definitely probably watch hers because we talk about a lot of the similar things. I really like this one. I think both myself and Ange gave it 4 out of 5 stars. We both really enjoyed this. It basically tells the story of a family, and this family is kind of what we think of, kind of like we think of it now as a very unconventional family. We've got a daughter, father, brother, and a mother. Now the mother that you meet at the very start of the book, when she's old and she's old and her daughter's kind of looking after her. And then what happens is we go back into time, back to the daughter's childhood, and herself and her brother are growing up. We have so many great characters in here. We have the character of Mummy, who we absolutely detest, but you're meant to detest her. And that's why I love this book so much. It's not filled with full of likeable characters. It does have, you know, this Mummy who's a bit like a Hyacinth bouquet. She really cares what people think. She really cares about social standing and her place in society. And when horrible things strike, what does Mummy do? She thinks of what society thinks. She thinks of what good behaviour is to do. Great. Fantastic. 4 out of 5 stars. Awesome. Can't wait to read some more. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave all the links for all the books down in the description bar below. I'll also link my Twitter and Goodreads and all the people that I mentioned. So subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you soon for my next video. Bye!